Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror freaks, and welcome to Flesh Wound Horror. I'm Flesh Wound Dan, joined tonight by producer Todd.
Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, good evening. Yeah, we're here tonight with another Halloween treat, and that is Headless Horseman. I should say specifically the 2007 Headless Horseman from.
I was going to say we might need to narrow that down a bit.
Yes, 2007 from director Anthony C. Ferrante, and
yet not an Asylum movie. We should point that out.
Not the Asylum movie. No. There's
no. I don't mean not the Asylum, which it's not. Also, I mean, given its director, you might think it's an Asylum movie.
Yes, Anthony's an Asylum regular, directed all of the Sharknado movies. He also did Hansel and Gretel for them. He did Zombie Tidal Wave, which we reviewed, and it's a new one, I think, out on Tubi called Time Pirates. So, yeah, very prolific director. And, this is one of his earlier ones. So I'm curious to talk about it. Headless Horseman. 7 college kids take a shortcut on their way to party and unfortunately end up in Wormwood, a lost town in the middle of nowhere. They find something strange and sinister happening there. Bones and weird decorations line Main Street. The cause, local Wormwood legend says, on All Hallows Eve 100 years ago, a crazed man tortured the youngsters in town by boiling them in oil. In retaliation, the townspeople killed him by cutting off his head. Seeking revenge every 7 years, he returns and takes 7 heads from children in the town. Now, the 7 visitors find themselves hunted one by one as the Headless Horseman claims his due. Each will do whatever it takes to survive. All right, so also kind of interesting. Not children, but it's okay. You can claim those. Another odd with that description, it opens in 1862 when all that happens, so a little bit more than 100 years, but yes, nonetheless. So I think I brought this one up. I don't remember. I remember it being a good time. It is more of a cheesy slasher film than a gothic horror film. I think obviously fans of the Washington Irving story.
It's better than that Johnny Depp one, though.
Oh, that's horseshit, Todd. I hope that's a joke, but
I don't like that one. That's my ends.
All right, we'll save that because
I've promised to revisit it, but I just
that is crazy. But I'm curious. I think on a revisit, you might be won over. But different kind of film. Cheesy slasher film. And 2007, some of the, obviously the CGI maybe doesn't hold up well. Although really, is it any worse than what we get today?
No. Not really.
What I like, there's a lot to like here because I honestly think this movie's entertaining as hell.
I'm kind of disappointed. I didn't know about this one sooner because I would have slid this in the tournament.
Yeah. And there is more. I mean, look, this is was a Sci-Fi Channel original. The DVD version is R-rated, though. I can't say what may or may not have been on Sci-Fi Channel, but there's a couple.
That Sci-Fi Channel original is kind of like a term bannered around. This is obviously a movie they picked up and edited for their broadcast.
Sure. And so there's a lot of really cool kills. I mean, they're over the top. They're cheesy. There's lines like "This is Deliverance Country," and then the ditzy character, "They deliver pizza around here." There's a lot of really dumb shit. We get the cute Eastern European local chick in Daisy Dukes. This is shot in Romania, so they kind of explain away the New England setting. when somebody brings up Washington Irving, they're just like, "Oh yeah, that's the whitewashed version." So at least they take time to explain all of these Eastern European looking people in this story. Um, and yeah, I think this is an entertaining cheese fest. Um, the At one point, the horseman is actually riding a motorcycle. I mean, which is hilarious. There's uh, a decapitation by car trunk, which was fun. Um, Probably one of my favorites is when he hits the one character with a mace to the face, and then she gets decapitated by a bear trap. Say what you will about some of the digital stuff, it still was cool. Like the kills were actually damn cool. Uh, the horseman flipping over the car as it was driving at him and decapitating the driver in midair. Like all of that crap was just hilarious. And I've always said, like, overall, this sort of era of 2000s, TVB movies like this, they do tend to be more entertaining than the majority of what we get today, I think. Uh, the Horseman at different points, it kind of looks like a cross between like Freddy Krueger and your mom's meatloaf kind of look on his face. Um, but yeah, we got Richard Moll, who runs Kolchak Country Store, which I think is hilarious, hamming it up. He always knows just how to play it, like in these B movies. If you just check out Richard Moll, Metal Storm, uh, just he knows how to make the role work. He knows what he's in, and he always makes it entertaining. Ghost Shark, probably my personal favorite sci-fi channel shark movie, way better than Sharknado in my opinion.
That Ghost
um
Shark is a great one.
it
I
is.
always think of immediately when I think of him. I mean, of course, after Night Court because that's when
Night, yeah, Night
But
Court.
I always go House. I remember
House,
when I was a kid when he's in that skeleton garb. That scared the shit out of me when I was a little kid. First time I saw it, I was like, "Oh fuck this!" When he's like in the mirror, I remember that very distinctly. It's like one of those early memories.
he's on a short list now of legends that I still haven't met that I'd love to
Really?
look. Nah, never got to meet them all.
Oh, okay. Well, I
No.
mean, I'm sure it's because he lives out here, but he's been quite a few. I think I've seen him at least 3 times.
He's done them. It's just one of those weird things. I've been to a ton of conventions, just never caught him. I think I was at one that he canceled maybe at one point, but yeah, lots of great kills. Like I said, you know the type of horror fan you are if you can't take digital. Well, obviously there's some digital here, but they blend a little bit of practical here and there, some after the fact stuff.
There's
That
worse stuff now.
there's a lot where like this is another one, and we've talked about this recently with some Slashtober entries like Halloween Night and what have you. Like they may not be, there's a lot to pick at, but they're a lot more entertaining than a lot of stuff we get now, and even on the big screen. So yeah, this movie's just it's goofy, it's fun, it's a breeze to get through. It's the 90 minutes passes in no time. Might piss off, like I said, obviously purists that are fans of the Washington Irving story. Yeah, it's not that. It's not Sleepy Hollow. It's not the Disney version. This is it. This is a cheesy slasher first and foremost, and I think it's entertaining as hell. Apparently, this one was also released in some areas as Darkness Night, and they made it look like a rip off of the Dark Knight, which I didn't think was out at that point. But yeah,
I'm sure that was for overseas places that didn't get the Headless Horseman.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it
Uh,
may not translate everywhere.
but still funny nonetheless. Uh, yeah, I had a blast with this. How about you, Todd?
Yeah, I know. Like I discovered this when we were talking about the new one coming up, and I'd never heard of it, and you recommended it. I said, "Let's do it," and I'm really glad we did because, like I said, I would have slid this in Slashtober. It's a good time. It's that when I say old school, I know Dan brought up the era, but that that era we don't have anymore from like 20 years ago almost. Well, this one's only 15. But yeah, we don't get stuff like this anymore, and it's a
No.
shame. Either everyone takes themselves too seriously now, or the budgets are too low on this kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I mean, we just like praise Spooky Dookie and what was that, a $500 budget? So
500 apparently, yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's yeah. Even sci-fi, we don't get this quality, this fun anymore. Once in a
Yeah,
while.
I still enjoy a sci-fi original, but yeah, there is a distinction
That
in the
2000,
eras.
the early 2000 era,
Yeah. Well,
it
we
is.
talked about it with Asylum. Look at some of their early, slasher stuff, horror stuff,
Yeah.
before they really kind of became. I mean, they were the mockbuster company still at that point, but before they kind of became like the CGI shark and creature people exclusively, it seems. Not exclusively, but yeah, it was different. You'd get from that era, Jolly Roger, Massacre at Cutter's Cove, Beast of Bray Road. They made some entertaining movies for sure. Legion of the Dead, and yeah, I kind of miss these. And Sci-Fi Channel has had some really good ones. We'll cover some of these once in a while. They don't, I think they've kind of aged well in a way. Like, yeah, sure. And again, yeah, look, we get some bad CGI flames, we get some ghosts floating around that may not look top notch, but it didn't hurt the entertainment value
Might
for me with
add
this
to some
movie.
people.
Yeah, I think it will. I think it will. If you're the right kind of viewer, I think it will. And I always say when I review these movies, it's a different scale for me. Like, I'm assuming, all right, in my rating, if you're the type of person that does enjoy these cheesy Sci-Fi Channel movies, I'm rating it kind of on that scale. So I always remind people I'm not grading this as I would grade The Exorcist. So,
And as I always say, I rate it on my enjoyment,
that's
because
fine.
I have no other. Yeah,
Yes, that's fine. So,
I wasn't asking for your permission, Dan. I was letting them know.
well, you have it anyways, Todd. God damn it. Yeah, this one again too. It as silly as it is, it does exude that Halloween feel. I I put a smile on my face watching it, and we'll do some more of these every once in a while. Why the hell not?
We could have done a bunch of headless. There's so many of these movies too.
There's the Hollow is
Yeah,
one.
the Kaylee Koku one.
Yeah, that one's actually out of print, but
Oh,
I've been told that if you check your Dollar Tree, some
they're
people
popping up.
some people have gotten them at Dollar Tree, but probably something. I mean, not like ridiculously out of print, but you may pay 20 some bucks for it. So, so yeah. But yeah, great kills all over it though too. Like lots of really clever decapitations, and you had the one up against the tree. Probably could have done without the CG blood after just shooting into the camera, but nonetheless, yeah, I liked it. And the cute girl in Daisy Dukes. It's just a fun movie. So Todd, what say you? Can go ahead and rate it.
I was thinking about this. I'm a 3.5. Almost. I was going back and forth between that and 4. You almost swayed me to a 4.
Well, this is my kind of trash, and on that Sci-Fi Channel scale, I'm gonna give it a 4. Again, on that scale,
Yeah.
just there'll be all these like, you gave Halloween Ends a 0 and that piece of crap before. Well, fuck you. It's more entertaining than Halloween Ends. God damn it. And I like it.
Thank
I
you,
like
Toxic Dan.
Yeah. I'll be Toxic Dan. You can make those shirts.
You already are. What do you mean you're gonna make it be?
I will lean into it. I will be the
Dan, what do you've already leaned into it. It's already done.
I'm gonna have a mop.
You're gonna be Toxic?
Yeah, Toxic Dan. It's a gag.
Oh god, jeez.
Toxic Dan.
I'm gonna have to pull a yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. sickness brain. I don't know if I could say what Doug's always.
So yeah, guys, check it out. It's worth popping on for cheesy movie night. I'd suggest some others, but honestly, I think we'll cover them. Maybe not this month now, but we'll get to them.
And as we brought up this, if you want to check it out yourselves, it is currently streaming on Tubi, and
Nice.
it might be a couple other places, but for sure on Tubi right now.
Hopefully, and like I said, the DVD is listed as the final cut, and it's R-rated. And uh, actually, I don't think it gives a runtime, unfortunately, on the DVD. But
And I should
uh,
mention the Tubi cut is also the R-rated one.
okay, sweet. Well, there you go. You're covered.
I think the only place you're not going to see that cut is when it airs on Sci-Fi.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple, honestly, a couple lines more than anything. I'm sure it's more or less the same. So yeah, check that out, guys. Be sure to check out all our /Tober entries, and
What's
with
that
that,
hashtag that's been going around there?
oh yes, the hashtag get out the guests. Was that it?
Get the guest out.
Get the guest out. Yes, the very passionate tournament. So check that out. It gets more and more heated, and those last couple are pretty intense. So, and on that note, patreon.com/fleshwound features. It all starts at just $1. We work hard for you guys. We got content every day throughout October, and even when it's not October, you get a whole lot of content from us. So yeah, check it out, and keep having an awesome Halloween, and we will see you next time.